What up? Facebook, YouTube, Pinterest, SoundCloud, SoundClick, Instagram, and all points, all points Steph Curry. Uh, I don't really watch basketball, but Steph Curry is at the top of the food chain right now. Being that he got the MVP, which I still don't understand why he got that, but I'm not a huge basketball fan. I'm usually a fan of an athlete because of their athleticism. And his athleticism is on par. I mean, the boy's tough. You know what I'm saying? He can shoot right now. He's the goat right now. He's the dude. But the reason I want to talk about him is because a lot of people on social media have looked at Steph Curry and looked at his wife and said, I want a wife like Aisha Curry. I hope I said her name right. No disrespect. And they're going, oh, I wish I had a wife like Aisha Curry. One, the woman is beautiful. They have a lovely child. They're a beautiful unit as a family. So I can understand how, the youngins are like, yeah, I want a wife like Aisha Curry. Now, there was a man who talked about, you want a wife like Aisha Curry, but, a lot of times you dodged out that good woman for, somebody else who's ratchet, but they're better looking, so on and so forth. And he was saying, you're not Steph Curry. So you're not going to get an Aisha Curry. And so he pointed out the fact that, one, you're not as rich as Steph Curry. You're not as good looking as Steph Curry. And even if you're both of those, you're not as famous as Steph Curry. Uh, and I was like, okay, bro, I kind of feel you on that. And then he brought up loyalty. He was talking about how people are, dodging the good girl to get to the bad girl. They don't want the loyal chick. And when I listened to that video and then I looked at that and, I'm almost 50, I'm 49. I looked at that and I said, you know what? Your Steph Curry today was my Ahmad Rashad. Now, Ahmad Rashad is good looking. He's rich dude. He had everything going for himself. He's a great athlete. But the reason why I admire Ahmad Rashad wasn't because of any of those. It's simply because he had Felicia Rashad. And anybody who's watched American television back in the 80s and the 90s watched The Cosby Show. And we all seen Bill Cosby's wife. And Felicia Rashad is just, I mean, it was unexplainable the way that woman represented, one, black women, her strength in and off the screen, and the way she portrayed, the wife, like no nonsense. Because one episode they had where Bill was talking about, well, what if I bring a young girl in here, firm and fully packed, what you gonna do? And she got you ain't gonna bring no younger. And I was like, yeah, that's the way a black woman would act, you know, and it was all in the script, and but nonetheless, what you could do with Felicia Rashad is you could identify with her as a positive figure. We don't have a lot of that nowadays. We got ratchetness all over, reality TV who think they're stars and they're not, and it's just the more ratchet they are, the more people want to watch, and it's just terrible. Nonetheless, Felicia was holding it down to show what a woman should act and look like. And it was like, damn, like I was like, yo, Ahmad, son, yo, I admire you to the fullest because you go home to that. Now, eventually they got divorced. And, but nonetheless, back in those days, we were all like, I wish I had somebody like this, or I wish I had, or even her, which we all knew that it was not even possible we were even going to sit next to Felicia Rashad, let alone, get a chance to take her to dinner. It's just, it's not going to happen. But nonetheless, so I get it. You want a woman like Aisha Curry, you know, I'm not Ahmad Rashad. Not even close. I'm a poor dude from the hood, always was. I still live in somewhat of the hood, even though my situation's got a little better. And I'm just a working stiff like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? I'm not rich, none of that. I've had some lovely women in my life, but I can't say that any of them compared to Felicia Rashad. But I've had some good women in my life. You know what I'm saying? Some good black women in my life. You have some bad in your life. But I'm saying all this to say, eventually they got divorced. Who knows what went wrong? Because we weren't on the inside of the house. We didn't wake up with them. We didn't see them when they were at their worst. And obviously there was a worst because they got divorced. Who knows what happened? Who knows if it was him, her? Who knows? We were not there. So when I'm looking at people saying they want an Aisha Curry, it's just like 20 years, 10 years down the line tomorrow, you don't know what could happen with that family, with that unit, and I do not want anything to happen with them. What I'm saying is, when we look at stars, we idolize them, and we should not do that. We desire what they have, and we can admire what they have, but we should not idolize them. I've talked about this before. And then you have the stars who seem to have everything in the right place. Tiger Woods, look what happened to that marriage. There was a lot of people saying, "Dang, Tiger, your wife is beautiful. I wish I could be you. I wish And then look what Tiger was doing. Tim Duncan, look at Tim Duncan's wife. For one, she hot, okay? She hot little, snow bunny. But oh my God, like the worst wife in like you don't want to be married to that. Yeah, she good looking, but she is a notorious cheater. Like with the mailman type cheater. Like she doesn't even go after superstars. She goes after the gardener. Like she is notorious for constantly cheating on her man, who is a superstar. He's a great looking guy, no homo. He's got everything. You got two kids by him, but she's not happy. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying to the young folks, like, be careful. Like I said, Aisha's a great looking woman. They're a great unit, and I want them to be great forever. I want her and Steph. I don't care what y'all think about the dude as a basketball player, but as a family, he's doing what he's supposed to. And I want that. I want them to continue. The little girl to grow up and see her dad as a positive figure, and mom as a positive figure. And when she gets old enough to find a dude, I hope she looks at her dad and say, if you're not holding it down like Pops, you don't have to be a star. But if you're not holding it down like Pops, then, I can't really rock with you because this is what I learned when I was growing up. But we got to be careful. We got to be careful about who we idolize because some people idolize these stars because they're on TV, but like I said, you don't wake up with them. And the thing about it is, when they fall, you got people who fall with them. Case in point, look at Britney Spears. When Britney Spears went down, people jumped on her left and right. The girl was making $50 million a year. Britney Spears it wasn't even Britney Spears, it was the Britney Spears, kind of like the Michael Jackson. And then Britney Spears is still the Britney Spears because her revenue potential is just off the chain. But nonetheless, there were so many people that went nuts when Britney Spears fell. And there's one dude named Chris Crocker. Leave Britney alone. He was so emotional over what she was going through. He never met Britney. I think he finally did. But nonetheless, he just went off. You got people who jump off bridges when something happens to stars. You got people who like Beyonce, who are so into Beyonce. You say one thing wrong about them, the Beehive is coming for you. And I mean, they will threaten your life. Uh, look at the singer Lord. She had the number one single last year or the year before, Royals, and she beat out well, shoot, I forgot the crazy chick's name now. The girl who sang a Wrecking Ball. The girl who sang Wrecking Ball. What's her name? Miley Cyrus. She beat out Miley Cyrus Wrecking Ball for number one. And when that happened, Lord's social media just went nuts. They came after her. They threatened her life. They like people are so into these people on them. Like it's like this is not you. Like it's just a song. She didn't even do it on purpose. Like it just went crazy. So it's very scary the influence that people have. But I'm telling you, do not be spiritually attached to these people. No, I'm not spiritually attached to none of them. I wish them well, you know what I'm saying? But Steph hold it down, Aisha hold it down, y'all doing y'all thing. But I'm not spiritually attached to them. I'm like, hey, live your life, do good, in this world of crazy. So we gotta be careful because there's a spiritual element that's messing with our heads when we look at these football, basketball stars, and it's okay to care about them. But when you care about them to the point where you are about to go out and cause another person harm, you got to be careful about that. You really do. And when you admire someone's spouse, yeah, they're beautiful, but like I said, you don't wake up with them. So it's your boy Tone 202. Just, looking at the NBA, looking at the NFL and all other major sports, we just got to be careful of who we admire and why we admire them and watch so our admiration doesn't go that far. Like I said, yo, Steph and Aisha, hold it down. It's your boy Tone 202.